Hello everybody, I'm Dr. K.K. Agarwal. Let's discuss how to manage a healthy and functional liver. Regarding nutritional assessment, certain recommendations about nutritional assessment in patients with liver disease are: perform a rapid nutritional screen in all patients with cirrhosis and complete detailed assessment in those at risk of malnutrition. Assume risk of malnutrition to be high if BMI is less than 18.5. When diagnosing obesity, consider the confounding effects of fluid nutrition. Always include an assessment of sarcopenia within the nutritional assessment. You can also assess muscle mass images by the CT scan, assess muscle function in the clinical setting with the most appropriate tool, assess dietary intake by trained personnel working as part of your team in the Department of Hepatology. Let's talk about healthy liver and sugar. Energy supply should balance total energy expenditure, which includes resting energy expenditure, food related thermogenesis, and energy expenditure related to physical activity. It has been suggested in some studies that sugar sweetened beverages play a role in the epidemic of obesity, metabolic syndrome, and fatty liver disease. Directly, fructose component in sugar causes dysregulation of lipid and carbohydrate metabolism. Indirectly, sugar promotes positive energy balance, thus body weight and fat gain leading to dysregulation of lipid and carbohydrate metabolism. What about alcohol? Alcohol consumption of more than 4 drinks daily is associated with an increased risk of cirrhosis, liver cancer, and premature death. In India, we don't have a safer limit for alcohol, but the medicinal limit of alcohol is not more than 7 grams in a day. But yes, a 10 gram of alcohol, which is 30 ml of whiskey, if taken in 1 hour, may not cause damage to the liver. Alcohol-related liver injury includes acute alcoholic hepatitis, fatty infiltration, and cirrhosis. Alcohol has a combined effect of hepatitis C and alcohol on the development of symptomatic cirrhosis. Alcohol and hepatitis C together are deadly. It is prudent to advise abstinence from alcohol since safe level of alcohol consumption is not known. So any person with fatty liver disease, with Hep C or with Hep B, we should avoid them not to take alcohol, and if they insist, the recommending safer limit is only 6 grams a day for the men. What about immunization? When no immunity is found, then the hepatitis A vaccine and hepatitis B vaccine should be administered. Hepatitis B vaccine should be given 1 month later for the second in the series, and both vaccines should be administered again after completing 6 months. All patients with cirrhosis should receive yearly influenza vaccine. Can the drugs be liver toxic? The liver is vulnerable to toxicity from drugs and vitamins. To avoid medication toxicity in patients with chronic liver disease, medications should be used judiciously. Each required medication should be evaluated for possible liver toxicity. If liver toxicity has been reported, an alternative with less or no adverse hepatic effects should be procured. If no options for safer alternatives are available, then the medication should be started under close observation. NSAIDs used for pain and headache can cause idiosyncratic liver toxicity, therefore be careful. NSAIDs should be avoided in patients with chronic liver disease when pain medications are needed. Preference should be given to paracetamol at a dose of up to 2 grams per day. Remember, vitamin A is a known hepatotoxin. Iron supplements often present in over-the-counter multivitamin preparations are common and readily available to the patient, and there is a propensity for excess iron to accumulate in the liver parenchyma. Iron overload is detrimental to those with chronic liver disease. What about dietary fat? Fatty infiltration results from alcoholic liver disease, non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, hepatitis C, drug liver injury, Wilson's disease, and other genetic diseases. Predisposing factors include diabetes, obesity, and elevated high serum triglyceride levels. In some cases, fatty infiltration is accompanied with inflammatory reaction causing fibrosis and cirrhosis. Therefore, inflammatory foods should be avoided. Gradual weight reduction should be recommended in patients with chronic liver disease and obesity, starting from at least 5% weight reduction with an aim of 10% weight reduction in the first year. Thank you.